Hello again. Welcome back to Dark Souls 2. This is Daz. Today we're going to explore Majula. The first thing we'll notice here, aside from that large monument in the background, is that every bonfire has a unique name. This bonfire in Majula is called the Far Fire. To begin with, let's talk to some of the residents here. Why on earth are there so many bloodstains here? Who are they fighting? Weird.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
We may now level up by the power of the Emerald Herald. Don't really know what that means. Let's talk to her some more and get a better look at her.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid. Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seek souls, larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Well, we have a couple of options here, but I'm interested to see what more the Emerald Herald has to say after we leveled up. Now, leveling up, we'll probably have its own video dedicated to it. For now, I'll just go over some of the basic stats. Vigor is hit points, more of these is good. Endurance gives you more stamina. Vitality increases your equip load. Attunement increases the number of spells you can equip at one time. Strength makes you hit hard. Dexterity makes you hit good. Adaptability is really weird, but it's good to have because it raises resistances and a mysterious stat called agility. Faith and intelligence boost spell power and miracle power. For now, what should we increase? We only have enough for one. We have to spend souls to do this. Let's go with strength. Let's hit hard. Well, it was worth a try.
Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul. But whatever came of it? Those who come to Drangleic seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow. It happens to them all, sooner or later. That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken. Although he does offer sound advice. Perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future. That tiny thing inside the ruins. An ancient being that will mock your very existence. She imparts sound wisdom. Provided you find her on a good day. The sign you bear will drain your very souls. And without souls, you will turn hollow. Stay strong. Do not lose hope. Even when you have precious little time. For when the undead dies, it is never truly dead, but only one step closer to hollowing. Not all undead are hollows, but all hollows were once undead. If you find an Estus shard, bring it to me, so that I may ease your burden. Over the hill and past the where, but what?
Well, she had quite a mouthful to say. What I'm getting from all of this is that we need to go and find some strong souls, so we're cool enough to go meet the king, I guess. Let's talk to this guy. That's a lot of deaths. That's a little discouraging.
You're undead, aren't you? You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drang Lake these days, there are very few places like that. I am Solden. And like you, I lost everything. And now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really. There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have. Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Well, I suppose everybody could use some help now and again, so let's go ahead and join.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
I don't know about you guys, but this guy sounds familiar.
Do you feel lonely here? It suits me just fine, as I've nothing left anyway. It will grow on you, this place. Give it some time.
Learning a jester sounds fun. Jesters are basically just
Do
emotes.
you see the way beyond the bonfire? That will take you to the Forest of the Giants. There was once a great fort, but little of it remains. You may just find something there that will be of use on your journey. But don't venture too far inside, or you might not come back. Hade's Tower of Flame lies beyond the far gate. In the cathedral, the Apostles of Blue gather. But the road leading there is perilous. The gate is rigged with some contraption. But how it works, I just don't know. Have you seen that pit, that gaping hole in the earth? I don't know what it's like down below, but I wouldn't suggest trying to find out. Besides, you'll never make it down there, not without a ladder of some sort. The flame you see there is a bonfire. They exist all across the land, beacons to we undead. If you are tired, try resting beside the flame. The flame heals us. Long ago, a woman called a firekeeper watched over each bonfire. She kept the flame lit and guarded it from those who would extinguish it. I wonder where the firekeepers went. Did you notice any letters on the ground on the way here? These are messages that have jumped the fissures between worlds. In Drang Lake, the flow of time is convoluted. Things shift and waver, twist and turn. Poignant wishes, dashed dreams, the messages convey our very inner thoughts. If your will to soldier on falters, try leaving a message. Somebody out there is sure to listen. You may notice symbols that appear upon the ground. These are summon signatures. They call upon spirits from other worlds through the schisms in time. If you fear hollows, find summon signatures to call upon spirits to help you. Do you see the way beyond? You may, but don't.
Well,
You'll find peace on your journey.
he certainly had a lot to say, too. It's a lot to parse all at once, but let's take a look at this important message that jumped between the schism and time. And let's try out a couple emotes. More specifically, our new one. And let's leave one of our own. This guy is, he's just a little bit of a downer, so let's give people some warning. Like I said, messages don't always make sense, and a lot of them just sort of incite you to go jump off of cliffs, so be careful. Are there even more of these? Bloodstains are like messages, except they show how players in different worlds meet their untimely demise. Quite frankly, I'm a little baffled.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door. I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop chop.
Well, he's a little pushy. But a blacksmith does sound like a useful person to have around, so let's keep an eye out for that key and see if we can help him out. It seems like a good time now to start exploring Majula a little bit. It doesn't seem very impressive, but it's a peaceful enough little shanty town.
Oh.
What?
Undead, are we? And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalquoir. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
Okay, I'm a little freaked out by this talking wall. It somehow knows that we're part of the Way of Blue. Let's, it also sells things. The wall sells things. None of which we can afford, of course. We are extremely poor.
Nothing's... Well, that's dismaying.
Yeah, that is kind of dismaying. Let's pick up this item and see if we can solve this mystery of the mysterious talking wall. After solving the mystery of the mysterious blocking tent pole. Ugh, I don't like the look of those things. Oh, of course, it was just a talking cat scratching at the wall.
Who are you again? No, I'm not serious. You do have a rather pleasant scent. The type I'm quite fond of. This place is already dead. Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born. Isn't it wonderful? This place is fascinating. We receive only the most peculiar visitors. Folk like yourself. It's enough to keep even a cat amused. Are you going to see the old ones? Those four who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now. For heaven's sake, no one even knows their names anymore. Imagine that. Yes, nothing like yourself. For you have a most pleasant scent that grows nicer with each passing day. Have you made friends with the man by the sea? He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants. Covenants are a type of, well, contract, you might say. You give something to gain something. That's the way humans like it, right? It might be just the thing you need. But what does a cat know? Did you see that oddly formed rock behind here? Long ago they called it Victor's Stone, as I recall. If you wish to face greater challenges, speak to the rock. Although, you'd just as well not.
Well, on one hand, we've already talked to a wall. But on the other hand, I don't think that Hal really needs greater challenges in this mad quest for souls. Shalquoir is an interesting character. She seems to know quite a bit more than she lets on. But good luck getting anything out of her.
This is all right. Everything will crumble and wait. Isn't this place...
Looks like we've exhausted her dialogue for now. She sells a couple of unique rings and various knickknacks.
Nothing.
But, like I said before, we are way too poor to afford any of that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sultan on this one. I don't think there's any way we're getting down there without a ladder or something. A ring, maybe? No dice. Let's keep exploring.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Maughlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind. I came from the west, from Vulcan. Have you been there? It's a lively place, vibrant with trade. Very competitive, of course. And you have to grease the wheels to get anywhere. But I didn't have the funding for that, so I left home in hopes of striking gold. It's been years since then, and I've made very little headway. I don't even know why I'm still here. Everything's all run down and dying. It's terrible for business, really. A group calling themselves the Blue Sentinels have gained much power in Vulcan. You can't even run a shop without their blessing. They claim to be working for the greater good, but it's absolute hogwash. Oh, by the gods, why the hell am I here?
Well, Maughlin the Armorer does seem like a nice enough guy, but unfortunately for him and us, 50 souls isn't going to buy anything.
Well, I do hope I see you again.
Don't worry about it. We'll come back when we get some money. Oh? Very nice. I hope Maughlin doesn't mind. Nothing to see here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Sucker. Still locked. Titanite shards are not keys. Now this looks like an interesting contraption. Hello! Oh, the Emerald Warden wanted one of those. What's over here? These are called Undead Devourers. It's sort of a grandiose name for such little piggies, but as we will soon find out, they are a gigantic pain in the butt. They have an enormous amount of health. Our dagger barely scratches them. And while they don't do too much damage themselves, it does add up over time. There are 3 of them and 1 of us. To make matters worse, the dagger can barely reach them because they're so short. This is quite frankly ridiculous. However, it looks like we've almost got one down. Come on. Okay, there we go. And our reward is a whopping 20 souls. Fighting these guys, especially so near a death pit, is an enormous waste of time. So, see ya! Okay, I don't think they're following us. We should be okay. Let's go turn in our shard to the Emerald Warden and talk a little bit about Estus flasks.
Bearer of the curse, seek.
She goes through this spiel literally every time you talk to her, and it's super annoying. So, Estus flasks. Estus flasks are healing items. They are not consumed upon use, they are simply drained of charges. Let's put one in our belt. We have 2 now, because we gave the Emerald Warden a shard. Oh god, leave me alone. They did follow us! We can drain our entire stamina bar on them, and we still only do about 1/5, 1/6 of their entire health bar. As you can see, our Estus flask count went down to 1 in the lower left. So that means that until we rest at a bonfire to refill them, we only have 1 more charge left to use. Estus flasks are a renewable resource, ow, but you do need to manage them carefully, especially early in the game when you don't have many of them. What a bunch of suckers. Yeah, let's not go visit them again. 60 souls is not worth the hassle. There, good as new. We're all healed up, and we have all of our flasks back. Let's go explore a little bit up here. We sort of made a beeline for the bonfire when we came out of Things Betwixt. To our cost, because there's a goodie here. Divine Blessings are consumable healing items that will fully heal you and cure any abnormal status effect. They are incredibly valuable. It's a bit of a squeeze through here. This guy's sword looks impressive.
Have you business with me? The way yonder is all blocked up, you see, by this god-awful statue. Heavens above! Who thought it a good idea to put it there? Oof, I'm in quite the pickle now. See that statue? Gives me the willies. You stare at it for long enough, it starts to look alive. It just doesn't seem quite right. There are no craftsmen round these parts. Hey, you don't think a real-life person was turned to stone, do you? See that statue?
Well, there is the blacksmith we met earlier, but it seems that carving statues might not be part of his purview. Let's go take a look. That is a very odd place for a statue, and a very odd pose for one. Our friend outside with the impressive sword might be onto something. Speaking of friends, hello! Oh, not friend. These gross-looking guys are diseased hollows. They are not particularly difficult, but they suffer from the same issue that the Undead Devourers did in that they are really tough for this point in the game. However, they do have a weakness. They are very slow and easy to backstab, and the dagger actually gets a backstab bonus. So, while on a regular attack it only does about 17 damage, on a backstab it will one-shot them. However, we can't really backstab very well in that tiny room, so let's lure him out here and see what we can do. There we go. Learning when and where to backstab is a very important part of dealing with certain enemies in this game. It's not always possible, but you should always be on the lookout. We also just picked up some Lloyd's talismans, which are interesting items that have a couple of applications. Mostly for PvP, they block Estus flask healing, but there are some enemy NPCs in this game that do heal themselves with Estus flasks, so if we keep them around, we might be able to leverage them to our advantage. But it looks like we've given Majula a pretty thorough run-over. Why would he praise the sun? What does that have to do with anything? With all of that settled, let's take another nice rest at the bonfire and collect ourselves for the journey to come. Take a look at our nice skyline here. I will admit, the sun is very pretty. Next time, we'll tackle the Forests of Fallen Giants.